Hello again. Today we're going to talk about the second part of joining words. Today we're going to talk about Unit 39 in the Blue textbook. When we say the spellings of words or names, we normally join them together in one continuous sound. For example, when we say ABC, like this, ABC, we say it ABC as if it were a single word, without any pause and between the sounds and the letters. Sometimes we have to add the extra sound to separate vowels sounds. So listen to these examples. The added sound is as in small letters. URL. URL. You can identify there is a W sound in between the U and A. URL. URL. AIM. There's a Y sound between the A and I. AIM, yeah sound in between. BORN. There is yeah between the B and O, and there is W between O and R. And there is R between R and N. BORN. So whenever we say certain sounds, whenever we spell out certain words, there are certain inserted sounds that we have to add in order to make our pronunciation more fluent, more smooth. So, and we call this joining words. We insert, we call them, these sounds are called insertive sounds, and the process is called joining words together. This, the same three sounds, re, ye, wa, are also added between whole words to separate vowel sounds. So the consonant sound re is used to separate vowel sound when there is a letter R at the end of the first word. In many accents of English, including Southern British, this final letter R is not pronounced. At the end of the word, we don't really say we don't really pronounce the R letter. It's usually turned into schwa, playa, worka. So the R is not pronounced, so the word begins with a vowel. So the word ends in a vowel sound. Schwa, playa, acta, worka. For example, the word after is pronounced after, but if the following word begins with a vowel sound, the R is pronounced in order to separate the two words. For example, the R is pronounced in after eight. Now, if we say after alone, there's no R sound. After, just schwa. But if the word after is used with another word that starts with a vowel sound, like the word 8, then we have to insert the re sound to separate the two vowels, schwa and a, in the words. So after 8. In this case, the re sound it is at the start of the next word. So after 8 sound, like after 8, we say after 8, as if the re sound is not at the end of the word after, but at the beginning of the word 8. So listen to these examples. Now on the left side, the re sound is not pronounced. Her card, under 16, after 9, 4 legs, clear skies. Here we don't pronounce the re sound because the following word starts with consonants, and when we have schwa plus at the end of one word and consonant at the beginning of the next, we don't really say or pronounce the re sound. But if we have a word that ends with re, and the next word starts with or begins with a vowel sound, then we have to pronounce the re sound. Her race and the rage, after rage, for rise, clear, rare. So we pronounce these words here as if they were spelled like this, because the rare will move into the next word. Her race, under rage, after rage. So we move the re sound to the next word as if it were an onset for the next vowel in the next word. So that's the main point. We insert the re and we pronounce it as if it were a part of the onset of the next word. So sometimes we pronounce R to separate vowel sounds, as we saw here. If there is no, but sometimes we actually pronounce the re sound even if there were no R letter separating the two vowels in the two words. So for example, this word, look at this word, or this expression. So, Alice. So, Alice. In fast speech, we insert re sound between the O, between O and A of Alice. So it would be pronounced as a so Ralice. So Ralice. So we inserted re sound to separate the we, the O of so, and A of Alice. So even though there is no R letter in the spelling, sometimes we do that. This example would be so Ralice. We talked about this in the previous lecture from the text, from the Green textbook, when we talked about linking, and I gave you an example of insertion or insertive re when we say Australia and Africa. Australia, no re. Africa, no re. But when we say them together, Australia and Africa, we insert a re sound to separate the two vowels, just like we have here. So Alice. This is called insertive re. You don't need to be intimidated by this. I know it's a bit difficult, but you only need to memorize one example only. The sound ye and we can also be pronounced as separate vowel sounds. We can have insertive ye and insertive we, as we saw in the examples at the beginning here. So if we have two words and the first word ends with a vowel sound like short E, like this one, and the next word starts with any vowel sound, we add the sound ye in between these two vowels. And this example would be every year, every start with short E, year, every year, when we say them together, we have to insert a sound in between, so it would be pronounced as every year, as if we say every year. This is insertive ye. But if the first word ends in the vowel sound like oo or o, and the next word starts with any vowel sound, we will insert a we sound. And for this, we have the example: you ache, you ache, the verb ache. But when we say them together, we have to insert we in between. You wake. So listen to the examples. Notice the ye and we is pronounced when there is no ye and we in the spelling. Okay. Look at these examples where we say, where we insert ye and we in between certain words or vowels. Every ear, that's very careful, very slow pronunciation, but in fast and connected speech, it would sound like every year. Every year we insert ye in between the two vowels, so it would sounds exactly like when we say every year. He yearns, as if it was spelled he yearns. You wake, there's way in between, and as if it were spelled you wake, even though it's you ache, but in fast speech it sounds like you wake. Okay, this is examples of intrusive ye and intrusive we. So far we talked about 3 different things: intrusive re, intrusive ye, and intrusive we. So these are the main things that this unit focuses on, or the main things that this unit focuses on. Now let's move to the exercises. Spell out these names if possible. Record yourself, then listen to the recording and compare it with yours. Spell out, we say these names as if they were separate sound letters. So T-O-M, you can see you can listen, there is we sound in between. T-O-M, B-N, B-E-N, there is ye in between. E-R-I-N, T-A-N-I-A, R-O-S-I-E. So there is either we or ye in between these sounds. In these pairs, the first and the second word are joined with the phonemic letter shown. Read them loud and say them again, this time reversing in the order of the word so that different sound joins the first sound word. You don't have to write anything, then listen and check. We have pairs of words that we need to say as if we say in fast speech, and we identify the insertive sound, then we switch the order to see whether we still hear the same insertive sound. So for example, we have 2 or 3, there is way in between 2 and or. But if we switch the order, we will listen to ye. 3 or 2, there is ye. When it was 2 or 3, there is we. When there is 3 or 2, there is ye. The reason is that because 2, if we have the sound u followed by another vowel, or we will have we sound, because 2 will produce a we sound. The word 3 ends with e, and because we have e and followed by another sound, that will produce the ye sound. So look at the first vowel, which falls at the end of the first word. So look at the first word, and right at the end, if it is e, long e or short e, then we have ye sound. If it is o or u, then it is we sound. That's the main idea. So here we have gray and blue. There's ye sound in between, but we switch the order. Blue and gray, we will get the we sound inserted in between. You and me, there's we sound. If we switch the order, me and you, there is ye sound inserted. So the same thing for where, why, where. The first one we have we have e. The second one we have the first one we have re. The second one we have ye. So we have your hair, we. Her and you, we have re. Here or way, we have re. Away or here, we have ye. So look at the end of the first word. Then you can identify what type of intrusive sound you should say when you pronounce the phrase. The word rise is hidden. Let's move to the next one. The word rise is hidden in this sentence. Her eyes are open. Her eyes are open sound as if we say the word rise, even though there is no rise, but in the pronunciation it sounds like there is the word rise. Her eyes, because the way from her will be moved to the word eyes, and it sounds like rise. It is it is in the underlined part. Excuse me. And the underline includes the way from her, which moves to the word rise. So it sounds as if we have the word rise. This is clear if we took the phonemic spelling. The word rise is rise. You can see this underlined in the phonemic spelling of the sentence. Her eyes are open. The words in the box are hidden in the sentences below. Find them and underline them and write the hidden word after the sentence. Here we have a list of hidden words. We need to find where we can identify them in these sentences. So the first, the example that we have, the boat's useless without the yours. Ours becomes yours. There is assertive yeah, because we have the ours, the yours, so it becomes as if we have the word yours. Are you into golf? Are you into golf? The word winter is somewhere in this sentence. Are you winter? Because we have a we sound between you and into. Are you winter golf? He has her hair over the ears. Over the ears, because we have ye sound inserted between the and ears. It's starting to wake, because we have inserted or intrusive we between to and ache, so it sounds like wake. I'm not sure I'd agree with you. I'm not sure I'd agree with you. I'm not sure I'd. Re with I'd becomes right. She has a shower each morning. She has a shower each morning. Reach morning. Shower, reach morning. That's why we have reach. It's 7:45 already. It's 7:45 already. 2 plus 8, we have intrusive we, so it sounds like wait. Do I owe you anything? Now we have do I owe you anything? We have intrusive y, so that's why we have the word why. Her eyes are a strange color. Her eyes, her eyes becomes her eyes. She should know. You should know better at your age. You should know better at her age. You should know better at your age. So your age, the way inserted between you and age, and becomes your rage. That's why we have the word rage. So these are the words that we can find that were hidden somewhere in these sentences. And by this we'll stop here. Thank you very much, and we will meet soon again.